Today, I'd like to talk to you about being the optimal partner. Now, early in my speaking career, the first three books that I wrote were all about partnering and strategic alliance development. My first book was titled The Art of Partnering. My second book was titled Developing Strategic Alliances. And my third book was titled Partner Shift. So everything that I was doing early in my career was about how do we collaborate with others to have an optimal result. Well, bringing that into our life as speakers, I think that we need to think about how can we be the optimal partner for the meeting organizer. And because the ASSC is about selling to trade associations and professional societies, I'm going to stay in that lane. Here's an important thing to understand. Trade association and professional society employees tend to be risk averse. If they wanted to be a risk taker, they would be in private enterprise. Now, they're not so risk averse that they, went to work for the post office, but you need to understand that you need to help them to understand that you are a safe choice. Now, early in my career also, I went to a full day MPI, Meeting Professionals International workshop. It was a full day workshop downtown LA. And after that, one of the things that really hit me was really understanding all the things that a meeting organizer has to do to make a meeting work, all the moving parts, that what they really need is for you or I to be a prima donna, for you or I to have problems that they have to deal with. Because trust me, just with their board of directors and their members and all that, they've got plenty to do. Also, early in my career, when I joined the National Speakers Association Los Angeles chapter, I witnessed a pretty well-known speaker. I'll just leave her name quiet for right now. I witnessed a pretty well-known speaker have a temper tantrum in front of the whole, and back then the LA chapter had probably about 100 people in most of their meetings, and something wasn't right with the microphone, or it just wasn't to her liking, and she kept pissing and moaning through the presentation about that. And I was sitting there thinking, geez, if she was doing that in front of at an association meeting, the members would be pretty upset. So taking all that together, and what I want to share with you is, thinking about pre-meeting, during the meeting, and post-meeting. How can you be the optimal partner that makes it easy to get along with and assures the meeting planner that it was a good choice to select you? So pre-meeting, what are some of the things that the meeting planners get a little bit frustrated with us speakers? Well, number one, if we don't do any customization, if we don't make any phone calls, if we don't ask for their magazines. Most of my career, I've always asked when somebody books me, hey, give me, send me the last 6 months of your magazines. Or today, with a lot of the magazines being online, just send me the links to the last 6 months of your magazine to give me an idea. Talk to a few board members. I even like to, if they have, especially with associations, invariably there'd be somebody that was a member of that association in Southern California close to me, and I'd make it a point to drive out and visit that person. I got all kinds of silly pictures of me at a tortilla factory, with a hairnet on and a machete. I got pictures of me, in the onion sorting facility, just all kinds of silly things that I would go and try to better understand their life. You don't have to do it, but it really, really makes a difference that when the meeting organizer realizes that you care enough about them to understand them and their members, and you go and try to learn, then they have a certain comfort that you're going to be a good choice. Also, one of the things in most of the interviews that I've done with decision makers for meetings, that those interviews are in the ASSC vault for members, is that association people keep telling me, I can't believe speakers don't honor deadlines. If you sign a contract speak at a meeting, and in the contract it says you'll have your PowerPoint to them by such and such date. You'll have the handout to them by such and such date. You will have your marketing materials to them by such and such date. It amazes me how many association executives have told me speakers just don't honor those dates. That is so foreign to me that you or I would blow off getting things to them in time. You might say, yeah, but I'm busy. Well, that's not that meeting planner's problem. If you're booking more business than you can handle, that's your problem, not their problem. So you need to make sure that you're honoring every deadline, and especially when you've signed a contract. Then think about it this way: when you signed a contract, before you sign the contract, that's called negotiating. So you try to get more money, or you try to get them to buy books, or you try to get extra hotel days. It's all fine. That's called negotiating. That's within reason. But you got to remember, once you signed the contract, it's no longer negotiating. Now it's begging, and nobody likes a beggar. So if you need to honor the contract you signed. If you signed a contract for one night stay, and 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks down the road you want 2 nights, that needs to be on you, not them. Yeah. So just remember, when you sign the contract, you signed a contract. And before that, like I said, it's negotiation. After that, it's begging. Nobody likes a beggar. So, live up to the contract that you signed. Now, at the meeting, I mean, it's just common sense as a speaker when you get to the venue to text message the meeting organizer, your contact, a message to let them know you've arrived. Now, in travel, if you're having some challenges and there's some delays, it's also polite to keep them updated. Send them a text. Hey, there's a delay. I'm stuck in such and such, but it looks like there'll be no problem me getting there. Just wanted to let you know I might be getting in a little bit later. I'll text you as soon as I arrive. Keep them updated. Don't hide it from them. The other thing that you need to do too is, sometimes they want you to do a dress rehearsal or something like that. Who knows? Everybody has a different term for it. But, it's pretty rare that somebody's going to want you to go through your entire slide deck, and I have had that. But, it's real important to go in, like a lot of times you'll get there the day before and you go into the room, you do a sound check. In my contract, I always, would have it, I request an oversized screen for the size of the room, usually like minimum 20 by 20 or something like that. Because a lot of times in some of the smaller rooms, they put little, 6, 8, 10-foot screens, and the people in the back couldn't see it if they wanted to. So, but the thing is, that's something that I would have in my contract. When I get there, I can then have a conversation with the meeting planner and go, hey, I noticed that the screen is much smaller than was in the agreement. Is there any chance that we could talk about that? And I would always use the line, it would really help your attendees. I never would say, I need X, I need Y, because I'm a prima donna. But I'd rather say, it would really help your attendees have a better experience if they could see my PowerPoint. I've noticed that the screen is far smaller than I had requested. Is there a chance that we could make an adjustment? Maybe you can, maybe you can't. I mean, even sometimes in a hotel, to go get number 10 cans of beets or whatever, peas, whatever they have, and put at the tripod feet of the screen, just to raise it up to get a little bit higher to the ceiling so more people in the back can see it. So what you got to make sure you do is let the meeting planner know you're there. Try to get in the day before, the night before, to look at the room setup. If there's anything that needs to be fixed, try to have a conversation with the meeting organizer then. If you wait till 10, 15, 20 minutes before your speech, and you ask for something, you're a pain in the ass. You are a pain in the ass, and the meeting planner is going to tell everybody, don't hire the speaker because they're a pain in the ass. They didn't care enough to get in way ahead of time to make adjustments. If you come in 15 minutes before your talk and you want this, you want that, you're a prima donna. And nobody likes a prima donna. So, you know, I know that the association people, like you and I, to come and attend their cocktail party the night before. I always hated that because all the association members were trying to get with their buds, their friends. They're having a good time. They didn't really want to talk to the speaker. I would show up. I wouldn't drink. I'd usually just get a soda water and a lime, so it looked like I was drinking, vodka and tonic, whatever. And I would show up, hang around, walk around the area for a couple of times, go over to the meeting planner. Hey, thanks so much. Appreciate it. I wouldn't really get to talk to many people. I try to, but I kind of find groups of people and kind of stand just a little bit back and eavesdrop on them, listen to what they're talking about, listen to their problems. And sometimes then I could use that in the speech the next day. The other thing, something that I learned from Patricia Fripp years ago, if you get there early enough and you're getting your room and people are coming in, there's nothing wrong with you as the speaker running around, talking to people, even using the microphone, chatting with people, introducing yourself, shaking hands. It makes them feel comfortable when they come into your room, whether it's a keynote or a workshop. I mean, you can do it. And then when the time comes for the introduction, you have the introduction. Also, the other little thing with your introduction, always have an extra copy of your introduction in your file. Now, I don't know how you organize yourself, but I always would have a manila folder that would be my job jacket, and I'd have all my information written on that inside it, also inside it. And then if the person that was going to introduce me couldn't find the intro, this, that, or had some problem, I would just pull it out and hand it to them. I'd always have it printed in 14-point font. Got to remember, a lot of the baby boomers, they need their reading glasses to read it. So these are things that you can do to make yourself easy. Also, one of the things that I've frequently done when I meet the meeting planner, go, hey, just to let you know, my flight out today is like at 4 or something like that. And I've got my program at 9. If you need something in the morning, if somebody doesn't show up and you need me to fill in, just let me know. I'd be happy to. So these are ways that you can be the optimal partner. There's many other, but I'm not going to get into every point at the meeting. Then the post. Well, what do you do in the post? It's in your contract. If you offered to do a post workshop or a post Zoom, those are great things to do. They're really kind of sales opportunities. The associations love it. Also, as far as follow-up, if you promised anybody anything, make sure you get it to them right away. Also, depending on the situation, whether you have a flat fee travel expense or whether an actual expenses travel expense. If you have an actual expenses travel expense and the meeting organizer says, you need to get this to us right away, don't drag your heels. I mean, there's no reason why you can't get that expense report back to the meeting organizer within 2 or 3 days of the event. You don't have to wait 30. There's just no reason for that. But I have to go on vacation. Do it before you go on vacation. And it's just polite to get it to them. So, it's think about, you can think about how you want to be treated, but more importantly, think about how they want to be treated. Think about, what else can I do to make this meeting organizer's life easier? It's all about making their life easier, making them feel safe about working with you. And something, I got to tell you, once you're on site, something, don't be a pain in the ass with, oh, I don't want this room. Oh, I need a high room. Oh, I need that. Oh, I need this. I understand maybe you don't want a room right next to the elevator because it's going to make noise and keep you from sleeping. But remember, as a speaker, don't say, I need. Say, it's really important for me to be a little bit away from the elevator to get a good night's sleep so I'm fresh in the morning for the audience. That's the way you position it. Don't say, well, I want this, I want that, and don't piss and moan about, well, I want a suite or you didn't give me an ocean view room or things like that. Think about it. You're there not to be on vacation. You're there to work. You're there to deliver an amazing presentation that moves the audience from point A to point B. You're there to engage the audience. You're there to make a difference for the audience. So, what you need should be very, very secondary to where, what the association needs. So, think about it before, during, and post. What else can I do to make it easier on the meeting planner? What else can I do to make sure I fulfill all of my deadlines and try to do them ahead of time, not at the last minute? And just be the optimal partner. Because if you're the optimal partner, they're going to recommend you and they're going to maybe bring you back. If you're not the optimal partner, I guarantee you they're not going to recommend you and they're not going to bring you back. Well, I think that this is something that everybody, whether you're your first couple years into the business or whether you've been in the business for a long time, it's always good to reflect back upon asking yourself, what else can I do to be the optimal partner? Oh, and by the way, in me being the optimal partner to you, I'll just say to you, if you're a member of the ASSC, don't forget, there's a lot of resources at the website that we have for you to help you get more business. Aiden and I are constantly working on ways to help you get more business. So, and if you're not a member of the ASSC, well, you might want to think about it. Noodle around a little bit, ask a few questions, and maybe this is something that'll be right for you. Hope you enjoy your networking. Okay, Aiden, that's a wrap. Cut a little bit off the front, cut a little bit off the back, and you can have this for Wednesday.